Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Devin Taylor with Sweet Notes Bakery in Hagerstown, Maryland, and today's tutorial is something that has been very highly requested and one of my favorite things to make. Today we master the art of French macarons. The difference between macaroons and macarons is not just how you say it, but macaroons actually is spelled with two O's, and those are the light, fluffy coconut cookies that you might think of. A lot of people make them for Christmas. They're very popular around Easter and in the spring. You can put cherries on them and chocolate. They're sweetened condensed milk, powdered sugar, coconut, fluffy little clouds. Those are macaroons. But today we're making French macarons. Macarons have one O and are meringue sandwich cookies that you can put pretty much anything in between, from buttercreams to jams to ganache. And they are a bit trickier. All right, they're a lot trickier than macaroons, but that's what we are going to work on today. I call French macarons the diva of cookies. They are, from their specific ingredients to the way they're combined to the different fillings that you can put in them to the oven being at the perfect temperature to the humidity in your home. There are pitfalls everywhere you look, but I have found a recipe that works perfectly for me every single time, and so I'm going to give you all of my insider tips and tricks I have learned along the way. There have been many failed batches. But I'm going to give you all of that knowledge into one video so that you can make them perfect the very first time. So let's get started. So you can see I already have things set up here. I like to have as much set up as possible when I'm starting these cookies, because once you get the ingredients moving, you kind of want to keep going into the next phase and bring them all together in one fluid motion. So setting everything up ahead of time is easier, and it's going to be more beneficial as far as the cookie. Like I said, this is a diva of cookies, so we want to make sure that everything's set. So I just have a medium mixing bowl here, just a regular mixing bowl, and I have a large sifter here, and that sits right on top. I'm just going to sit that on top because the first two ingredients we're going to use are going to be sifted through this, and we're going to sift them together. You're going to want to start with powdered sugar. This is 1 2/3 cup. You want to be as precise as you can with your measurements for your dry ingredients because that will make a difference. With this cookie, consistency is everything. So you need 1 cup of almond flour, and you want to make that a nice level cup because this is really what changes the consistency of the cookie. So now the tedious task of sifting both of these things together. You're going to keep sifting into the bowl below. Your powdered sugar will go through easily. It's going to take a little bit more effort to get your almond flour through, but it's okay if not all that goes through. In fact, you're going to be left with about 2 tablespoons of almond flour pieces left over. And that's what we want. We want to discard those, throw those away so that you have a nice smooth mixture. So only what can get through on its own. Let's sift. That looks pretty good. All right, our combination is sifted, and you can see I have left over, you can see it in there, about 2 tablespoons worth. It doesn't have to be exact, but just kind of when things stop moving through the sieve, that's when you want to stop. So put that aside, we'll throw that away. Then I just like to stir them both together, make sure they're combined, and you should at this point have a nice smooth mixture. And you have 3 egg whites at room temperature, and you'll need 1/4 of a cup granulated sugar. Just have that here at the ready. So when you make a meringue, if you haven't done that before, or the trick that I learned from watching Mary Berry on a Great British Bake Off is actually to start your mixer once you put it down into the bowl on the highest speed. Go all the way up right away. That gets the most air incorporated from the very beginning, and that's going to give you the best results. Before you add any sugar, you want to get them nice and frothy and almost that you can see they're starting to thicken and hold peaks a little bit, and then we'll slowly add the sugar. If you add the sugar too quickly, you risk getting a runny meringue. And for the French macarons macarons like this, you really need a nice stiff meringue. It's looking good. So let's go in with some sugar. So I have a nice stiff meringue. We're just gonna get ready to add the extract. But also, Mary Berry's tip and test, you know the meringue is ready when you can confidently flip the bowl and hold it upside down. Let's try it. Yes, not going anywhere. So you have a nice stiff meringue with beautiful peaks. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now it's time to add our extract. I'm just making vanilla today, so I'm gonna be using vanilla extract, but you could use any extract you like. I like to put this in when the meringue is finished. If you put it in with your egg whites aren't going to whip up. These cookies also have a great flavor if you don't add any extract, so that's totally up to you. Get the meringue out there. There we go. Now, if you're making just one color of macarons, you can add your food gel at this stage. That's what I would do, and beat it into your meringue. You want to go darker than you think you want your final cookie to be, because once we mix it with our flour mixture, everything's going to lighten up and it won't be as vibrant. So start darker and they will bake lighter. I'm going to be splitting this batter, once I make the batter, into two different colors, red and green, since I'm doing holiday macarons. So I start by adding about 1/3 of my meringue. And the trick to mixing macarons is folding and rotating the bowl. So fold and cut in towards the center. You're gonna fold around the outside and cut in towards the center. It's gonna look a little odd at first because most of your dry ingredients are just rolling around, but you want to incorporate a bit of the meringue with your flour mixture we've created first, and then we can go in with the rest. This is the really time-consuming part. Some recipes will tell you how many folds you should do. I have tried those. I have not had success with those. You might, but I'm going to show you a surefire way that I have success. All right, in with the rest of the meringue. So now that I have all of it in here, you want to scoop from the bottom and cut through the center. So you can see there. And it's this white, fluffy, pillowy mixture. But they're so much fun to make in all different colors and combine them with all different fillings. We're getting there. Now the true test that I use to see if the batter is ready to be piped onto our sheet with our parchment is the figure 8 test. You'll see this in a lot of videos as well. So if you can take your batter and make a figure 8 with your batter without the strand breaking, with one continuous motion, then your batter is ready to go into your piping bag and ready to be piped. If it breaks, which mine broke, then you need to keep folding it just a little bit longer. This for me is a lot easier than counting the number of folds that you do, because everyone's folds look a little bit different. Some people fold half the bowl, some people go all the way around in a fold, and this way you'll know for sure. The figure 8 test has never failed me, so know that. Yes. Ooh, I could make 2 figure 8s with that one. That is perfect. Now it's ready to, if you're me, you're going to dye it. If you already have the desired color you want, then you can just put that right in a piping bag, but I'm going to split mine. All right, so my batter is dyed and I'm ready to pipe. I have it in a piping bag here, and I'm just using a regular round tip. You just need a cookie sheet, parchment paper, you do need parchment, and then we're going to pipe them. Now these will sit for a period of time. We're going to tap them out to make sure we don't get any air bubbles. So they're going to expand or spread a little bit once you pipe them. So you want to pipe them a bit smaller than you want your final cookie. This will take a little bit of time to get just right. You also want to leave a bit of space, but you just want to pipe from the center and pull up. You don't need to go around. You can just start in the center. They'll spread out. You want to make sure you leave enough space in between them so that your macarons don't stick together. So here are my green macarons. They're all piped out. You can see they're nice and smooth on the top. The last thing to do is just tap. That's going to tap any air bubbles out so you get a nice smooth top. Now, some recipes will say that you can let these sit at room temperature to form a skin for 30 minutes. However, I have found I let them sit for an hour to 2 hours, depending on the time of year, because, as I said, the humidity affects these diva cookies. And then you can put them in the oven. And these will go into a preheated oven at 300 degrees for 20 to 24 minutes. Once they come out, you can just let them cool, and I will come back and show you some beautiful finishes, decorating tips, and all the different filling possibilities that there could be. All right, we're back. The macarons have sat. They formed their skin. They went into the oven. They baked. They cooled. They're out. They're beautiful. They have pretty little feet. They're nice, fluffy. They should be smooth on the bottom, smooth on the top. They should have no problem coming off your parchment. That is how you know you baked them long enough. So they are ready to decorate and fill. So we're gonna do a couple of different decorations. First, I'm going to start out with a little bit of gold shimmer. Beautiful. Your brush. And what I'm gonna do with these is just brush them across the macaroons. So I'm just gonna, no rhyme or reason, just a few metallic streaks until you have a nice shine. I'll show you another thing I've done to decorate is I've taken candy melts. You can do this with tempered chocolate as well, and drizzled those over the top and added little sugar pearls. You can do that, that's fun. You could just drizzle it. Today I'm filling with just a Swiss meringue buttercream, which if you want to learn how to make this, I will link that video at the end of this one. You can click on over to that. And I have a pipeable dark chocolate ganache. When filling a macaroon, you can hold them if you want. You can lay out all the ones that will be the bottoms, fill on top of them, press the tops on. I like to fill them one at a time and hold them. They're very delicate, so that way I know it's, it's not gonna crack. So you just wanna pipe a little bit of buttercream. You don't wanna overfill these. So take your top macaroon here, and I just kind of hold the sides and wiggle it down a little bit. If you press down from the center, you're gonna crunch right through your macaroon. So there's one. And these are really great if you didn't want to fill them all at the same time as well. What you can do is you can keep the shells in an airtight container for a few days. And these just happen to be holiday ones, but like I said, you can do any color and flavor combinations that you can think of. And there you have it. You have mastered the French macaron. And while it may have been time consuming and challenging at times, you did it, and I knew that you could. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and grab that little notification bell, and you will be notified every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy baking, and I hope you enjoy your French macarons.